Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Hit the like buttons. Make sure you're subscribing. And to nearly 320,000 of you, turn on the bell notifications. The algorithm is not your friend. You need to know when we're pumping out new content for you. So make sure you do that because YouTube won't tell you. Generally won't tell you by yourself. Only 4% of people get told when new content comes out. So get that bell notification hit. And of course, someone will listen to and download on Spotify the Top 6 podcast now. QR code on the screen or link in the description. Lots to delve into today. We're talking Saka and Haaland. We're going to look at Man United. We're going to look at Harry Kane and expressions with one of the funniest things I've ever heard him say in my life. But I wanted to start with Chelsea because we know that Lampard's in now. But a Chelsea fan's being gaslit. A Chelsea fan's being... Is this almost being played as a good move? Are the failings being played down? Are things being taken seriously at Chelsea? There's a tweet here from a guy, Vince, very popular Chelsea fan, who says, it's easy to criticize Bowley and co for everything that has happened, but I think it's because they've tried so hard to take us to the top ASAP, like as soon as possible. It would have been easier to say last summer, we don't have time, let's wait for the structure, but they wanted to make fans happy. I think that's a fair take, but they have still failed. Lampard has come in, and I'm still seeing people, guys, vibes. We'll just enjoy it for the rest of the season. It's better for a new manager to come in the summer. That isn't even the worry. It's the fact that, according to the media reports, you're looking at Luis Enrique, Julian Nagelsmann, Pochettino, but also Antonio Conte and Jose Mourinho. There is a thought that if Lampard does well, he may stay. Where Chelsea fans need to be mindful here is to not be suckered in by the romance and the beauty and the legend coming back. That is why they've made this populist decision. You don't need to be angry about it. That isn't what I'm calling for. I'm stating remain diligent and put pressure upon your board to make the right appointment because they can't afford to make any more mistakes. They have to get this right with the amount of money that they've spent, and they have to start improving soon. Let's take a little listen here to TalkSPORT and their take on the situation.
See him do well. I like because of the person he is. I want to see him do well.
Why do you want to see him do well? Do you want to see him win the Champions League?
Wait, it makes no difference to me.
It should. You're a Tottenham man.
Okay. Do you want Chelsea to win the Champions League this season?
No.
Right, so you don't want him to do well.
No, I want him to do well for him.
No, hold on. So you want him to do well for him? What does that look like? For me, if Frank does well, he wins the Champions League.
It looks like an unbeaten end to the season. He gets to the final of the Champions League and they lose on penalties.
So you want him to lose on penalties?
Yeah.
Right, okay, fine.
But that's a good season for Frank. He comes out of it. If he gets a job or not, he's rebuilt his reputation in.
And I get that. That is a good time for Frank. And Chelsea fans will want him to do well. My question is, what if he does? What if he does do well? 48% win ratio compared to that of 39% of Bowley, which means essentially he'll win you one more game in 10. Sorry, not Bowley, than Graham Potter did. But what if he does well? Are Chelsea fans confident that they'll still go out and get a world-class manager? Or could Bowley, again, remember what that tweet said, defending Bowley and co, they do what they do to try and appease the fans. The fans have got to be happy with Lampard being here. But in my opinion, don't get too carried away.
Wrong, because obviously I said he'll come in and win trophies. He never got a chance to see out the season. He could have won the league, innit? Do you know them right there?
I love it.
So he didn't get a chance. Just like Mourinho, innit? Mourinho wasn't wrong there. Mourinho was robbed. He got sacked a day before the EFL Cup. Conte got sacked before to see out the league. We could have won the league.
Listen, the reason I played this clip, a little bit of lightheartedness here on Good Friday, but it's because that's proper banter. He isn't serious in what he's saying. Like, he's having a joke. It's funny. If you're going to do banter, it's got to be of that standard or don't do it. Legitimately, proper banter. That's the only reason I played it. Of course, big up DR Sports and Expressions, everybody over there. That is proper banter. He doesn't mean it. But there we go. That's all I wanted to play it for. Literally, there's no other reason than that.
of the year if he comes second. I don't think. Maybe the young player if he comes second. He hasn't been that good.
Is
He
there an
got player of
argument
the
for
season.
Haaland, even if Arsenal win the league?
For me, no. I think both relate back to what they achieve in the Premier League.
No,
I think,
lads.
yeah,
lads.
that's
There's an
for me.
argument. There's an argument for Haaland if Arsenal win the league, and there's an argument for Saka if City win the league.
What do you all think about that? Player of the year is fast approaching. Can Saka win it or Odegaard win it without winning the league, and vice versa for Haaland? It's an interesting question for me because for years, look, you all know I play down the awards, and I play down the awards because players have openly admitted that a lot of voting isn't even taken seriously. And I've seen some travesties in the past. Man United won a treble, and we didn't have a player that won Player of the Year. For me, it was a travesty. David Ginola won it. He was a brilliant player, but he wasn't the best player in the Premier League that year. David Beckham was. Can you win it if your team doesn't win the league? Yes, I suppose is the point. But if you're performing in a team that wins the league and you've been pivotal to that, there's something more tangible about that for me. But football fans have changed their opinions a lot on this in recent years. Where you shouldn't judge individuals based on team achievements. I get that to a degree. However, if you're a pivotal person in your team winning the ultimate prize, that's got to weigh up more than someone who did it in a team that failed. Or maybe I'm wrong. I want your opinions on that. It's a great point they bring up there on the club. It's a great, great point. And I'd also love to know who your player of the year is. Who is it? And should it go to a player from a team that wins the league? I want your thoughts and I want your feelings below, people. Make sure you're subscribing to us as well. Up next, Ten Hag's here having a chat about Rashford.
I was happy with the front four.
Are you concerned that you're perhaps too reliant on his goals?
Yeah, well, it's the truth, but also we know other players can score as well. Bruno can score a goal. Anthony Dos Santos scored already a couple of goals. Jadon Sancho can score a goal. Marcel Sabitzer can score a goal. So we have many more players across the squad who can score and already did score.
Ten Hag here responding to the question that are Man United too reliant on Rashford? Now, of course, Ten Hag is giving the PR manager's response that he's always going to give. I'm a little concerned, but others can score, and then he names them. He's never going to say, no one else in my club is capable of scoring goals. I'm panicking. And I don't think he is panicking. But rivals are right when they say that Man United rely heavily on Rashford, Man United rely heavily on Casemiro, Man United rely heavily on Lisandro Martinez. We do. And that's because we're at the beginning of a rebuild under Erik Ten Hag. And this narrative hasn't been changed. It's just never been discussed widely enough by the mainstream media, who often remember, Man United are everybody's number one rival. So the media will make content that feeds into the majority, which is, let's put down United. We need more than Rashford. That's why we're looking at an elite number 9 goal-scoring striker in the summer, Osimhen, Harry Kane. We know we're looking to bolster the midfield. The club is linked to, of course, Frankie de Jong and Declan Rice and Caicedo, because we know there's an over-reliance on Casemiro and Eriksen, of course. We're looking at a fullback because we haven't quite got the right balance. Yeah, AWB good defensively, Delo better going forward, but they're not the complete player. We're looking at a new goalkeeper because David De Gea's ability to play out from the back doesn't enable us to apply enough pressure onto our opponents. It is not an insult to say United rely on Rashford goals. It's pointing out a fact. Where it becomes embarrassing for rivals is playing it down like you're only fourth because of Rashford, you should feel embarrassed. No true Man United fan feels embarrassed by where Ten Hag has taken us in 7 months. Where we sit as an overall club, of course we are. That's why we want the Glazers gone, because they have led to us being here. But it's certainly not an insult to say you're over-reliant on 2 or 3 of your best players 7 months into your club's rebuild. If in 18 months from now, if at the end of the 24-25 season, we're still reliant on just 2 or 3 players, there isn't balance, there isn't harmony, we're not dominating the ball and the possession more, then it's a conversation, then it's a problem. If we finish 6th and 7th and 5th, 3 years on the bounce, then it's a problem. If we don't win any trophies, then it's a major problem. But I just don't think Man United are in that situation. And I do think that people are really clutching at straws here trying to bring Manchester United down. I would love your thoughts on that right now, though, my people.
Over like he'd been shot. And there's no need for it. And it's something we should all look at with absolute contempt. We should appreciate great football. We should appreciate great footballers. We should appreciate great skill and great courage. And we should also, and when all that's called out and we suggest that those things are very prevalent, no one complains. So when someone does the polar opposites, they should be able to be held account for it.
Bang on. And this only came out today. I am kind of shocked. It's taken from Monday till Friday for TalkSPORT to call out Harry Kane. I wanted to focus on it because if it was Bruno Fernandes or an array of foreign talent in the Premier League, it would have been condemned on Monday Night Football. It would have been condemned by multiple people on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and today, Friday. It's taken all week to really call Harry Kane out. And maybe I've missed some reports, and if I have, I apologize. But in terms of what I've seen, what's come on my timeline, and Simon Jordan here is bang on to call him out. Spot on to call him out. Because it was a red card. But Harry Kane should have been booked for his theatrics. The hit on his face was not hard enough to knock him down. He play acted still. And I do believe, for me, if I could change one thing about football, it would be to get rid of simulation. You do this, by the way, by making the right decisions. So send Decore off whether Harry Kane holds his face or not. Secondly, you start to punish people for play acting, for diving, for simulation. Even if you get caught on your leg and you do a swan dive and you arch your back and you roll 5 times, it's simulation. Watch a player get injured who's genuinely hurt and watch how much they move on the ground. The fact that if a player rolls 4 or 5 times, they're not booked is beyond me. And Harry Kane is the England captain, and Harry Kane is a superstar, and Harry Kane is England's darling. And that's all great. And I love Harry Kane as a footballer, but he should still be called out and condemned in the same way that we would a lot of our foreign players and a lot of players that have bad reputations, like a Bruno Fernandes. He absolutely has to be called out. And I'm glad to see the mainstream media, albeit late, finally do it. Listen, thanks for tuning in to the show today. Lots of talking points for you. I love your views and opinions below. Make sure the like button is smashed. Make sure you're subscribing and clicking that bell notification button. Of course, scan the QR code as well to listen to us on Spotify. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again